Hey everyone, it's Vicky and I'm back with a collage video, more mixed media rather than collage, but it's kind of a little bit of both. And these were two that I had experimented with some scrap flowers and some scrap paper. And I thought I would try it with a different color combo. I did use an older kind of cream, pretty thick cardstock, and I've been laying them flat too to get them flattened out. But what I thought is I would show you some of the things that I did, and it was actually a pretty quick process. So I took just a piece of cardstock. It is textured, but I really don't think that would matter. And then I chose some distress oxides. So I chose a bunch of those, and I chose a stencil, and it just kind of has like a geometric circle, kind of clock, some flowers. I chose that stencil. I chose some background splash stamps from Elements of Text. So I chose these two, and some spritz sprays. Today I'm going to use some distress oxide sprays. I'm going to use cracked pistachio and or twisted citron. I'm not sure which. I'm going to kind of go with a beachy color. So I want to do more with these colors here: Kitsch Flamingo, Twisted Citron, and Saltwater Taffy, and maybe Tumbled Glass. I might actually use that one too. So those are the colors. I had a bunch of these flowers already stamped and pre-cut, so I'm going to go with these that are more peachy. All right, and then what else did I pick? Well, and then I'll probably use some more of this Tim Holtz collage paper. But if you have white tissue paper, you can stamp on white tissue paper, and you can kind of get any look that you want. And I'm just going to kind of tear a piece off here and show you pretty quickly my process for how I did that. And I will probably turn those into cards, or yeah, probably some kind of a greeting card or something like that. Now this piece, you're going to really cover it up. It doesn't have to go in any particular direction, or I think I'm going to put it this way, however. And then I just put this on with basic glue stick, some Scotch permanent glue stick. And I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper to glue so I don't get glue on everything. And that collage paper has a repeating pattern. So you just kind of use pieces that you like and kind of go from there. And I don't even actually know if this collage paper is still available. It might not be. Some of the Tim Holtz stuff has gone out. It's like expired. Can't get it anymore. All right. Then what I did is I did some inking on this, and for today I'm going to choose I'm going to go with these two. I don't want to mix them too much. I don't want them to turn to mud, but what I did with these oxides is I just put a little bit on my glass media mat, and then I spritzed them with a little bit of water. And these are oxides, meaning they're going to be, matted. They're going to be mute. So at the end of this one, I did spritz some sparkle spritz, and I'll show you what I did to get that sparkle look. That was the last thing I did. So we are just going to get some color on this page here. And then I'm going to wipe this off for right now. And I do recommend drawing in between each of your ink steps, because if you don't, the colors can turn to mud. Now at this point of the other steps, I did some stenciling. So there's a real light green stencil in the background. So it just depends how much of your stencil you want showing up. So I am going to use the lighter, this is Tumbled Glass, and I'm gonna go with these circles in this corner. And you can go as light or as heavy with these oxides as you want. And you don't have to use oxides for stenciling, by the way. You can use water-based inks as well. And if you want to get the full effect of a stencil, you can tape it down so it doesn't move on you. But I'm going to just kind of keep going in different areas and kind of random. So I'm not too worried if it moves, if the stencil moves at all. All right, we're gonna go there with that for now. Then I'm gonna set that aside. Then for these little splotches, I used permanent black ink. And I think I'm going to stick with that. I think I'm going to keep doing that black ink. And I used the VersaFine permanent. And I'm going to put that paper back down. And I just did some random splotches with these background stamps. And then I'm going to take this one, a little bit different look to the splotch. Cute. Now I feel like it needs some blue or some, like, I don't know, watercolory blue. So I think I'm going to go with I have a color called Salvaged Patina that looks kind of beachy, watery. So let's grab this is Salvaged Patina. Now what I did was I went around the edge of this with a blue ink. So I think I'm gonna do that. Actually, let's do something. I'm gonna spritz with some Twisted Citron, just some light spritzing. I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna kind of just spray a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna go over it with the Salvaged Patina. And then I'm gonna go in my spray box over here. So I just lightly sprayed that. And then the same thing, you wanna dry that a little bit. And then these are the flowers I wanted to use. So I'm gonna make sure that they're gonna kind of stand out. I like that so far. So I'm gonna take this and go around the edge of the card and do, just kind of get those kind of raw edges blended in a little. Yeah, I like where that's going. And you don't have to, you know, if you're doing the edges, you don't necessarily have to go all the way around. I like these I like how these colors are turning out. Yeah, that's great. Then all I did was I figured out where I wanted to place these, but I did tone them down with ink. So I'm gonna go over these, I think with just a little bit of that saltwater taffy. I'm not gonna go too heavy. And let me grab another brush here. I'm just gonna go real light. Well, that wasn't very light, but I got a little heavy on that petal, but I can cover that. And then let's kind of do this a little bit. That way this flower doesn't seem so white and so bright. Now, if you want it to be that way, that's fine, but that way they don't seem to not be a part of this background. And then, let me wipe this up here. And I just glued these down with the liquid glue, just the Tombow liquid glue. People call it green cap. So we'll put these down with regular glue. And then the same thing, and I'm gonna lay this over top of that petal that I got a little too dark. Just kind of put it there. Love that. Now the last thing before I spritzed that shimmer spray on was I went around all of these words and flowers with a watercolor pencil, and then I blended it in with my water paintbrush. So for this one, the words I'm gonna choose, I think, I'm trying to decide if I want to stick with the blue words or if I want to go with a different color. These are from a book I purchased. I can link the book in the description box. If you are interested, I'll put it in there. If you want to see where I bought these words, there's all kinds of words you can cut out. Different things, different colors. There's holidays and things like that. So all I did was chose a sentiment and cut it out and glued it on. And like I said, I just traced it with a watercolor pencil. And we'll see how this whole thing comes together. So I chose, I am creative and inspiring. Kind of a cute little motivational saying to put on here. Sometimes we don't think we're creative at all. And I'm going to split this in half. And I think I'm going to put, I am creative and inspiring, like that. So I glued these down. And then I'm trying to think of a watercolor. So Stampin' Up! Has watercolor pencils that match their ink color. And I'm trying to, I don't know why this is not coming out for me now all of a sudden. Get a different one. Trying to think what kind of a watercolor pencil would be good to go with these colors. Love that. I do like how these colors came out. I think if you're, if you're going to try mixed media or collaging, I think one of the things I suggest is go with colors that really appeal to you, colors that you like, possibly colors, that are in your house. Like if you're going to create a piece of art that you want in your house, go with something that's really going to appeal to you. And I think it's easier if you try to do something with colors that are not your cup of tea, then it can be a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to go, actually, I might go around these. I might go around them in black. Now that I'm thinking, I was going to pick a lighter color, but now I think I'm going to go around them in black. If I can find my black watercolor pencil, basic black, there we go. And all I did was just kind of went around the edge of these, and you can go as heavy with these watercolor pencils as you want. And you can always go back over it too, like a second time, and make it a little bit darker. And then I just took my watercolor brush and kind of blended the ink, the watercolor ink, into my paper, into my picture. Woo. So let's see how we like this black look. And you can color into the center of your flower as well and go over top of that with a watercolor pencil as well. And then grab this and we'll just kind of get some water out to dip into. And then this will soften those black lines, but it will still make your sentiment kind of stand out. And that is about it. Just like that. And you can definitely use markers and stuff for this too, for outlining. Your markers, depending on your markers, you might not be able to blend them, but you could still go around your art with any kind of a marker for a border. And I'm gonna kind of leave it soft like that. I'm not gonna go back over that with a with another layer of that black. So now all I did was I took this spray shimmer. So it's Sheer Shimmer Craft Spray, and this is Sparkle. And I'm gonna do that in my box, and I went over the whole thing. So I did about 3 or 4 sprays, and you can just see that shimmer on that card. That is beautiful. I like how those colors came out. Actually, I think I might like them a little bit better than, this is the purple. Move this out of the way. And then this was, I think this was the first one I did, and you can see how I went a little heavier around the words on this one, and this one a little bit lighter with this was a blue watercolor pencil, and this one just kind of even lighter around those words. Wow, I like these color combos too. So let me know, which one is your favorite? Either the kind of blue and pink or this more subtle peach and green. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And like I said, I'll put the digital magazine that I bought of where I got these sentiments. I'll put that under the description, as well as some of the other things like the elements of text. This is from Stampin' Up, which I believe is still available. I might have to check on that. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope I have inspired you today. Have a great one.